Sorry, been a little bit busy, just putting together some applications, you know. Now I'm just joking. Of course, guys, I've been busy doing other things, restructuring my business. But today I found an altcoin that's really cheap. I missed it last cycle, and I've always wanted to get my hands on cheap Helium. In this video, I'm going to go over the Helium network, why, in my opinion, it's one of the strongest networks in cryptocurrency, and why I think it's relatively cheap right now. Keep watching. What's going on, everybody? Alex back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Helium Network, one of the greatest cryptocurrency projects in my personal opinion. Now, I do want to go over every little detail about it so you have a good understanding of why I think it's one of the greatest projects. So don't just take my word for it. Look at the research. If you appreciate this content, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, share this with a friend. I talk about cryptocurrency entrepreneurship, and if you're looking for guides and help in cryptocurrency, well, there's a $5 5-day trial thing that it's the only thing I promote. It's my stuff. So yeah, check that out below. So if we go over Bitcoin's price, you can clearly see that Bitcoin's been on a rally, especially for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Bitcoin has been looking really good. This is the daily chart. Now, we are coming up to some resistance here, and it looks like the resistance is pretty strong. As you can clearly see, around $45,000 BTC. Now, if you were to ask me, okay, just to be clear, if you were to ask me, I think it's more likely that we'll probably reject here, come back down. But I do think that eventually we are going to break through this resistance. I really do think that. Now, it could be now, right? It could be right now. It could be later. But, you know, I don't think anyone can predict what's going to happen here. I mean, people can claim that they can predict that, but they can't. So for me, I haven't really bought Helium yet. But if we do get a break above here in an aggressive way, if we do get something like, you know, some strong candlesticks breaking this, it would give me my confirmation that we will likely retest all-time high over here, in my personal opinion. So if we get this breakthrough here in Bitcoin's price, then I'll probably jump into Helium. And I've already talked about this. I'm creating an altcoin kind of like, watch list. So when we do get this confirmation breakthrough, I will accumulate some altcoins, okay? So I know exactly what I'm gonna buy. That's a lot of times, you know, people put themselves in a vulnerable situation because they're not prepared for the run, right? You don't wanna be thinking about altcoins after we get the breakout, and then, you know, you don't have enough time to do the research. Sometimes it takes me days to make, you know, this research list really thorough. More than that, I mean, it took me, you know, a couple days just to research Helium, right? So, you know, and again, people are, oh, you don't know what you're doing. No, I just look very, very deep into projects, and I just make sure that my investment is sound. So the point I'm trying to make is that I don't really like buying altcoins unless Bitcoin is in an uptrend or Ethereum's in an uptrend. Now, it's been in an uptrend, but I think it's more likely we'll get this breakdown here and then eventually move up. And I'm just playing it as so, right? You want to play it slightly safe towards the end of bull runs, right? In the beginning of the bull run, you know, dollar cost average, you know, hodl and have this, you know, long-term perspective is probably the smartest. But towards the end of bull runs, right, the highest chance for the bull run to be over, you want to play it a little bit more safe. So I was full degen mode like a year ago. You guys know this, full degen, altcoins, crazy, did not care. But now I'm going to care because, you know, you guys should know this. The percentage down is much more of a hit towards your portfolio than the percentage up. For example, if we get 10% down, going 10% up does not break even for you. And nobody wants to tell you that. But, you know, that's what we do here. We're profit maxis. We're not just maximalists in general. Now, something that I think is very interesting is that, you know, this sideways consolidation period we experienced back in May 2021, which was like the first big dip in Bitcoin's price. We had about 63 days and then it went parabolic and we had just like back-to-back green days. It looks very similar, guys. We have the sideways consolidation. The, you know, 63-day mark will be literally right here. So we're kind of coming up on it. So that is kind of a case for, you know, this to break through. Again, if we get a breakthrough, we get our confirmation, I'll accumulate some altcoins, not only Helium, stay tuned for other videos. I'll be, you know, doing a lot more coin reviews. So stay tuned for that, but I will definitely, again, accumulate some altcoins over here. Now, if we get a breakdown, okay, then I will accumulate altcoins here. So it's here or here. And you know, this is not the exact, but again, if you guys want all my coin calls, price predictions, et cetera, check out the $5 5-day trial below. It gives you everything I've ever had, when it comes to cryptocurrency in the past 6 years. All right, so if we come over here to Ethereum, we see something very similar. We kind of see some support here, broke down, played as resistance a couple of times, and then we broke through as support as well. It just looks a little bit better for Ethereum. It just looks like for some reason people have more confidence in altcoins, than Bitcoin. We definitely see the Bitcoin dominance dropping significantly. So this gives me a little bit more confidence for Helium, but I do want to see both in an uptrend. I want to see this break through and then this continue, and then I'll start accumulating altcoins. That's just the way I play it. Now, what we're looking at here, and this is actually brought to my attention by Will, one of our coaches in the $5 5-day trial, which will be in the link below. He basically talks about something called USDT dominance. Now, the significance of this chart is it shows the dominance of USDT, how many people are accumulating USDT. Now, USDT, in my personal opinion, is more of like a cryptocurrency stablecoin. Now, the reason I say that is because there's a lot of conspiracy behind it. There's a lot of issues going on with USDT, but typically cryptocurrency native people don't care. They usually still accumulate it. And the reason I say that is because they have the highest liquidity and they're on the most exchanges. Again, USDT has the highest liquidity out of any other stablecoin, and it's on the most exchanges. So it's kind of like a cryptocurrency native stablecoin. So this kind of determines, in one perspective, where the cryptocurrency market is going and how they're feeling. So as you can see, when we're dropping, USDT dominance is dropping. And that basically signals that, they're not accumulating as much USDT. People are jumping into maybe some altcoins and some other coins, right? So to me, this is a good sign for Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So it's all positives, really. Even though, again, I do think that, especially what's going on right now in the world, I think it's more likely we get a rejection down here and then we move up. There is a good chance that we could just move up from right here. Remember, the 63-day mark is literally today or tomorrow. So this breakout could happen relatively soon. And it could be very parabolic, guys. Like, look at over here, right? If we look at exactly what happened here, this is very parabolic, right? So everything's pretty good, actually. After, everything that's going on in the world, with all the sanctions and, all of this horrible economic uncertainty and all the bad conditions that's going on. For some reason, Bitcoin's still holding up and it doesn't look that bad, which is blowing my mind, especially towards the end of the cycle. And Bitcoin's holding up this good. I'm pretty happy, honestly, and I'm happy to be a cryptocurrency native, and I'm happy to spread the good word of crypto because it's clearly working in some way, shape, or form. It's working. Now, if we look at the top 100 altcoins versus Bitcoin dominance, when this chart goes up, that means the top 100 altcoins are doing very well in comparison to Bitcoin. When this chart goes down, that means Bitcoin is doing well in comparison to altcoins. You can see, okay, Bitcoin is kind of doing well, but we're getting this little reversal. So if this moves up, that means top 100 altcoins are doing good against Bitcoin, and we could potentially get a breakout, which I've been waiting for a very long time, and I've been talking about it for a very long time. If you've been following my channel, well, I called this one right here very, very vocally and loud. I called this one right here, and this altcoin season made me very rich. I made a lot of money off of this altcoin season. So if we get another breakout to the top that looks anything significant like this, I will be very excited. So pay attention to what's going on. I will be calling more altcoins in the future. All right, so let's talk about Helium Network. What is it, right? What is it? It's basically just decentralized networks, decentralized internet. And I think it's beautiful because especially times like now with Ukraine and, all this infrastructure being destroyed over there in the war, they didn't have internet, right? And they couldn't transact. They couldn't do different things. They couldn't pay for their bills. They couldn't watch Netflix, which is, it's great. When there's war all around you, you want some type of entertainment. So this connects everything in a decentralized way. Imagine a world where you don't have to connect to Comcast or connect to Cox or connect to, AT&T. And these people don't hold like this centralized control over the internet. This is what Helium solves. And the beautiful part about it is that they incentivize people for owning these miners. It's crazy. Honestly, I've been trying to get my hands on one for a very long time. They're just out of stock and back ordered like crazy. And I did recently just order their 5G network, which we're going to be talking about towards the end of the video, where you can get in and they're coming out with 5G cellular connection. And this is where it's going to get really, really bullish. And again, I think right now what's specifically happening with all the wars, right? If we go into World War III, if things happen, I'm not going to sit here and say the world's going to be destroyed. That's not how I feel. But if it does happen, the infrastructure of the internet needs something like this. We need the people to hold it together, not these centralized places that can be destroyed, because they can be destroyed. We see them get destroyed and they're very vulnerable, right? So, having a decentralized network, I think, is one of the most important things. Internet is very important. Like everybody talks about, a Bitcoin can be taken down if you turn off the internet. Well, it can't if the internet's run decentralized. Also, if you turn off the internet, you're going to have problems with food. You're going to have much bigger problems than holding Bitcoin. So I think this solves both. And I think it's the best use case. And there's a lot of credibility behind it. Again, I've been wanting to get my hands on Helium for a long time. I just didn't want to buy it at an expensive price. And now we're potentially coming up to a very cheap price for Helium, right? So we have all types of network solutions, massive coverage, miles of range. And again, this is important to me, affordable pricing. Right? They say that it's going to be a fraction of the cost of regular cellular cell phone. So if it's not only more secure, decentralized, incentivizing people, not centralized at all, right? And cheaper than your regular phone plan. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's literally a no-brainer. And they are coming out. They don't have it yet, but they're coming out with 5G, which is going to blow my mind. It's going to blow your mind, like seriously. Now, if we come over here, it's ranked number 57 out of the top 100 altcoins by market cap size. So it's relatively safe. Nothing's safe in crypto, but it's relatively safe in the context of cryptocurrencies, right? The market cap is 2.3 billion. Again, relatively safe. We have good trading volume. It's on multiple exchanges, right? The liquidity depth is really good. There's a lot of liquidity, hot bit, all the biggest exchanges, millions of dollars of transactions, right? So it's definitely legitimate. Again, not even close to a scam in any way, shape, or form, with a lot of credibility behind it. And again, if we look at the price from all-time high, it's down 57%. Right? This is a 57% discount in my personal opinion. I don't think it can go much lower. And you can see again, it's making higher lows and higher high, except for this is not a higher high, but this is a higher high here. Right? So obviously we've been on a downtrend with altcoins in general. If Bitcoin looks positive, if Ethereum looks positive, this looks cheap, right? That's the point I'm trying to make here. Now, if we look at, Helium versus Ethereum, the significance of this chart is you want to make sure that the coin that you want to pick is going to be better than Ethereum. Otherwise, you just should hold Ethereum. And you can see it does significantly better over, this 441 day period of time. It's usually going up, right? So if you would have held this coin for the past 441 days, you would have been 594% better than Ethereum, which is hard to come by. I'm gonna be honest. Most coins do not outcompete Ethereum. And I know a lot of people make this mistake. So make sure the coins that you're holding is giving you more percentage than Ethereum, because Ethereum is the safest altcoin. Right? Bitcoin is the safest coin. Ethereum is the safest altcoin. So if your coin is extremely risky and it's not beating Ethereum, you are wasting your time and money, and you're throwing away in the trash. Like, you're burning your money. I'm telling you. And I try to help people with this. Now, if we look at the token distribution, it's actually really good. They have 30% network data transfer. They have 35% going to hotspot infrastructure, right? So that you can actually get, internet, right? And then we have 35% going to the Helium, Inc. and investors, which is fair. Usually it's like 50% going to investors. This is 35%. So this is actually really good in the context of like big companies in cryptocurrency that typically have this much infrastructure and credibility. Usually it's like upwards of 50% going to the investors. So I think that's really, really good. They have, regular inflation and they actually have a halving cycle every 2 years, similar to Bitcoin. So they have this element of decrease of issuance that Bitcoin has that everybody loves. And they have a really good system. And another thing that takes Helium off the market is the data credits. So in the future, I don't know if this actually works right now. I looked it up. I couldn't really find anyone actually using data credits just yet, unless it's like a big company with like real infrastructure, like companies that are, tracking, for example, fields of wheat, things like that, but they don't have it for consumers yet. But basically the way it works is, to get data credits, you have to burn HNT. So it takes HNT off the market. And then you get these data credits that cannot be transferred back to HNT and has to be used. And it can only be used by one person too. So you can't transfer these data credits to somebody else. So again, essentially, you're burning HNT off the market, which is decreasing the supply, or the circulating supply, which is increasing the price of the asset. So this is, people using HNT equals price number go up, right? Is the point I'm trying to make here. So it's really cool. Now, if we look at locations, man, they're spreading. They're spreading like a virus. They're spreading like Bitcoin. It's all over. You can get hotspots anywhere. Now, this is not specific consumer grade hotspots. I believe the way that you can connect now is through Internet of Things. So this is mostly for businesses now. But the next part I'm going to show you, again, towards the end of the video, is they're coming out with hotspots, guys. 5G hotspots, like something for consumers. And that is what I'm really, really looking forward to. I cannot wait to cancel Verizon, to cancel my internet at home, and connect to a decentralized version of the internet. I just can't wait, because I'm a cryptocurrency maximalist. And again, they're spreading like wildfire. It's all over. It's all over the world at this point. So I love it. I really love it. Now, if we look at their technology, they essentially run like the same regular internet. The only difference is they're using, right? We want to enable multi-tendency of LNSs on the same public LoRaWAN, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, network. Achieving this distinguishes Helium's LoRaWAN's network from any other. Basically, the point is, this is nothing new. It's just that they're centralized, right? A central or regional LNS is managed by a single entity. But in the case of Helium, it's managed by the people. Again, this decentralized infrastructure, I think, is really important because there's a centralized place of attack. Okay, if that happens, and this is the same thing with all decentralized networks, you guys hear me say the same thing over and over again if you've been following me for any period of time. If there's a centralized place, it's easier to take down. There's a couple of things that you want resilient, right? And I think freedom of speech is one of those things, right? There's certain things that you don't want to inhibit anyone, all right? And, money is one of those, right? You don't want anyone to be inhibited from being able to, pay for food, right? And you don't want anyone's voice to be inhibited as well. Freedom of speech is very important, right? It is the most important. It's like a bedrock of society. So, where does freedom of speech happen right now? It happens on the internet. So you want to start off with the internet infrastructure and then build your way up to social medias. And once social medias are decentralized, then freedom of speech will be real, and the world will be better, in my personal opinion. Now, if we look at their community, the beautiful part about this community is that it's not like a hopium community. It's not like, I'm not trying to like bash anyone, but it's not like XRP. It's like, oh, are they going to win the Ripple case is the only big thing right now. The beautiful part about their community is they're all talking about the miners and how much money their miners make. It's like so resilient. It's like having a Bitcoin miner, but instead of the energy being wasted, it's being used to create internet. It's outstanding. And that's everyone, they can't stop talking about how much money their miners are making and how profitable they are and how to set it up better and how to, reach longer distances. Like literally that's all the community is about. Look, he's thinking about other women. If I could just get this hotspot 10 feet higher, like this community of, I guess you could say they're not miners, but, Helium hotspot runners, this community is resilient. They're going to keep talking about it. They're going to keep trying to make more money. They're going to keep squeezing out, the longest distance for their router. And this is going to, in my personal opinion, create a very, very cult-like following that will last through the bear run, guys. I'm talking about coins that are very resilient, from moving forward until we go into like this new stage, like in a year from now, if the altcoin season comes back, whatever, I'll start getting a little bit crazy and a little bit more risky. But right now, I want to buy altcoins that would do good in the bear run, just in case there is a bear run. Now, if we look at their actual YouTube, they have 24.6K subscribers. This is really good. They have a really big following on Twitter. So, in my personal opinion, their community is outstanding, one of the best in the industry. Now, if we look at here, we're going to look at some fundamental analysis. Now, if you're going to ask me what this website is, I'm not telling you yet. In a couple of days, I'll be giving out a huge announcement, but I don't want to tell you just yet. The founder, the founders, is one of them, Sean, is a co-founder of Napster, the P2P music sharing software. So he has experience doing this. Their team is, again, outstanding. We're giving them 100 out of 100 when it comes to their team because their credibility is crazy. Also, I do want to point out that they do have competition, and I have compared it to other places that do the same thing, right? So MatchX is the most notable crypto-backed competitor. It's very similar to Helium, but Helium's destroying it. So, there is potential for MatchX to step up and take over some of Helium's market share, but I think Helium has established itself and with its network effects should be fine. So we'll give it a B, but it's just because they have competitors, right? Now, if we look at the product notes, right, again, you can connect Internet of Things wirelessly, powered by these hotspots and HNT miners. It's proof of work and a decentralized internet service provider, so we know that this works with Bitcoin, and we have to rate it an A. Again, this project's outstanding. If you look at the overall grade, it's getting a 90 out of 100. We don't typically do that with a lot of projects. So again, like you can look at this for yourself. When we have the announcement, stay tuned. We'll be talking about it in the future, where you can get fundamental analysis for a lot of different coins for free. We'll be talking about in the future, but I want to talk about the last part here, which is 5G. In 2022, the number of smartphones in the world is approximately 6.648 billion, which translates to 83.72% of the world's population owning a smartphone. If you look at computer devices, it's not even close, right? So smartphones are by far the biggest market to adopt in the world. And Helium's coming out with 5G, okay? Helium 5G is here. The second major wireless network supported by the Helium blockchain. This is coming, and I set up for a freedom file. Actually, here's the email confirmation. Hopefully I'm not giving away any bad information, but yeah, I requested it and I should be getting a batch in April. So when that comes in, I'll be doing reviews. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. But 5G networks coming in a decentralized way. I can connect my iPhone to this network if that happens and the internet is good. I'm going to do it and it's going to be great. And I'm going to live off that Wi-Fi and I'm going to be like a true crypto native. But as you can see from this article here, we will be able to support calls from 5G smartphones and other compatible devices. So if that happens, guys, like it's over. They're capturing the biggest market, which is cell phones, in a decentralized way. If it's cheaper than Verizon, it's better than Verizon. If it's, if it can compete on a significant level, the price of this coin, I really do think will be a top 10 coin. Right now, it's number 57 by market cap size. If it's top 10, that's like a 3 to 5x. Resilient, okay, we have cult-like community, cult-like following. These things, last in the bear run. So in the bear run, I think it's going to be good. Maybe it drops by percentages, but I do think it's going to make it throughout the other side next cycle, right? So it's a good coin to accumulate, in my personal opinion. And again, if we see Bitcoin rise and Ethereum rise out of this resistance, then it will increase in value. I am very confident of that. Okay, guys. So pay attention to Helium Network. That's it for this video. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.